Hello, and welcome back to our tutorial. In this weird tutorial, we're going to look at retopologizing. So at the moment, here we are with our model. We have 9 million triangles, 9 million polygons on screen, which is a lot. And I'm running up, 1.5 gig of RAM. This is going to jump to about 5 or 6 gig of RAM in a moment. But I'm just going to reduce the amount of detail that I can see. Now, this doesn't actually get rid of the detail. It just means that here in my viewport, it'll show less detail. It'll take a second or two to revert to a lower version, and I can go again down to 0, and you can see a lot of the details disappeared, and I'm down to 374,000 verts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a plugin here. Let's go back here. This is CG Cookie, and they have 73 different courses on how to use Blender, and they have 5 here in retopology. Now this company have made a plugin for Blender called Retopoflow, which if we click in here, which is where I was when we looked at the website, it's an amazing little plugin. Now, it's not free. It's about $70, I think, but the college has bought it, so we can use it in class. So here is my model, and what we're going to do is we would go to File, User Preferences, Add-ons, Retopoflow, and you can see here it's turned on already, and that adds an extra tab here. So I am going to turn on this thing here, Polystrips. Now, Polystrips is an amazing wee tool. So you can see I've got a white circle here, and it's sort of, following the contour of the geometry of my model. And if I draw around here in his cheek, and then say draw around here in his cheek, I can select these two strips, then go Shift F, and it will join them together, which is just amazing to create that much geometry that quickly. So I can draw under here, select two of these, Shift F, and I can basically work my Shift F, and I can work my way around the model, trying to follow the geometry. Now, I think what I might do, because I am lazy, is why is that selecting there? Shift F. I'll probably put a mirror modifier on this. So Retopoflow really comes into its own when you start going into very complicated pieces of geometry. So that won't really work there, but we'll give it a go. Shift F, see what it does. Yeah. Now I'm going to undo that. Control Z. And I can just select any one of these points here, and I can go G. I can move it and rotate it. I can scale it. I can do all the things that we would normally do. With geometry. So again, I go to draw across here. Why are you not letting me do that? There we go. It's a bit small, so I'll scale that up. Not that much. Scale you up. There we go. Do the same there. So you can see sometimes it doesn't get it right, and that's because I think it's jumping to a surface, like a different okay. So G. More than one way to skin a cat, is how they say. So we get these in approximately the right position, and then I can go Shift F and do the same again, basically, we're just trying to we're going to create a low polygon version of our model, and this low polygon version of the model is going to allow us to animate our millions and millions of vertices. Okay. Now, and if we didn't have this tool, if we didn't have Vertopoflow, we would have to go and do this by hand, which I can assure you is a very time-consuming process. You may think this is a time-consuming process, but without this tool, this is a crazy amount of work to do. It normally took longer, much longer, than the actual model itself. I will extend you. I want to do that. Extend from there. Okay, I'll extend you from there. And nope, I draw that again. So Control Z. We'll get all our main areas drawn before we started going into the more complicated sort of parts of the model. But hopefully you can see just from okay, that's not going to work. I can come back to that one. Now let's see if we can join this in here. Okay, so it's not going to let me join that there. That's okay. And there we go. So we select that there, we'll delete that. Should be able to join the two of them. Very good. No, no such luck. So now I'm going to go G, move this back here. I don't know if that'll, no, that's not going to join in for us. So so you can see it's not the simplest thing to do, but I don't know if that'll join that. Okay. Anyway, let's see where we can get to up here. Now, yeah, these are a bit. So I'll scale this up a bit. Oops. Oops. Scale this thing here. Scale this up. Okay. So okay, so we're not in a bad position at all here. We've got a lot of work done already. So the more delicate parts of the model, in fact, it can be easy enough to fill these in, but the more delicate parts, yeah, it's not going to let me do that. Okay. Are the ear and the eye socket. So let's see if we can get some joy here with the eye. I said doing this by hand would be very difficult. Just going to scale that up a little bit. Same there. And then from there we'll draw out. Okay, I didn't like that. So I'll try and draw down from the bridge of the nose. I spoke too soon about this tool. No, it's not going to let me do that. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to move this up a little bit. There we go. And make room for a strip here. Okay, so we have basically a loop here going around the eye, and we want to take, no, not that, to be able to link these guys here now. Okay, that worked. Okay, it's not letting me do that, but that's alright, I can join this manually in a few minutes. What I'd really like to do is actually get some work done on the nose, so let's see what we can get done here. Okay, so for some reason it's not liking this nose at all. Okay, we've made some progress, but very little. Okay, let's see if we can draw here. There we go. So Shift F, and so our problem is getting these to link. So that moves this in. No, not. Or I'll break it. Okay, well, tell you what we'll do. We're just going to stop here for a second, and we've got loads of work done on this. 13 minutes in. Let's pause there, and we'll go to contours. So I'm going to click on the contours tool, and contours is an amazing. Oh no, actually I can't do that yet. I have to hit enter. Now I'm going to click on contours. Now contours uses a lot of RAM, but it is an amazing tool. So I can start drawing across here, and this is a much quicker and much more powerful tool than the polystrips tool in terms of speed of modeling, but only really works on cylindrical objects. So, but fortunately for us, most objects, most humanoid or bipedal objects have arms and legs and torsos and cylindrical parts. So we can Now you often need on this arm and this leg. I do this the fingers here as well. Now, well, there are a couple of things that I haven't done that you may ask why haven't why hasn't he done this or that. There are a couple of ways to retopologize. So I could take this low poly mesh, which is only whatever 300,000. I could use as a modifier called decimate. I could use that and reduce the polygon count, but I'd end up with lots and lots and lots of triangles. And as I use this tool here, and I'm sure you notice with the polystrips tool, these are designed for this specific task of retopologizing, and they are very good at just keeping quads. Now, if we had the odd triangle, it wouldn't kill us, but if you try and animate objects with a lot of triangles, you'll get the very undesirable sort of results in you get strange kind of deformations that we do not want. Okay, so maybe there. So, the amount of geometry I'm adding in here, I'm just doing it by eye. There's no particular number of green lines I need or should draw. I'm just doing it all by eye. And again, when I'm finished this, I hit enter, and that has generated the mesh. And now I can go back in if I want into the tools. But I'm not going to do that for now. I'm going to actually select my high resolution mesh, and I'm going to hit H to hide it. I'm going to select this and go into edit mode, and I'm going to do some manual editing on this. Or at least I'm going to have a look at what I've got before I do much more. Okay. So this is not a bad start. There's more geometry here than the eye than there is flowing down the face. So that will present a couple of problems for me. So I might just be a bit bold and remove some. So if these are going to connect, then I need to get rid of that. So kind of trying to match my geometry. Again, it'll mean I'll have less detail, but again, this is a very low polygon model we're going to make for a game, so we don't need it to be perfect. And there are, I'm sure, a few errors here, so you can see these are not joined, so I need to merge them, and I'm sure I have a few errors like that. So while the tools are very good, you will get merge. I'm sure throughout this there are things I could improve on. And I said I would fix this, so I'm going to merge these two here. There we go. So this will take maybe one or two tutorials to get this right. So I'm going to go back out into object mode, solid mode, Alt H to unhide my low polygon model, select just the polystrips model and go back into polystrips. And you can see that when I return, now I can tweak this. Actually, I can go move some of this geometry around, but what I need to do now is I can just start adding, and let's see if it'll let me link some I can draw. Okay. Okay, so we're making good progress. Okay. So what I get from really doesn't want me to do this nose. Okay. Well, I have have most of it done at this stage. So, and I want to come out from the eye and scale that up. And now, yeah, so I should be able to get most of that done now. No, okay. And okay. Now, so we are yeah. So ears are difficult at any time. So if I can get oops, yeah, okay. So it's not gonna let me do that. So if I can get even a head start on this. Why is it not letting me do that? Okay, so we'll see what we can do. Okay, well, I'm doing that. Okay, fine. So that's like my high polygon model. I'm going to hide it. I'm going to take this and see what I can do. Okay, so I'm going to extrude this in, and then see what I can link. So I'm going to add a loop cut here. So Control R is loop cut, and W bridge edge loop. So what I'm going to start doing now is trying to get make sense out of what the polystrips tool has given me. So now I'm going to get a triangle there. I am not going to worry about that too much. I will not lose sleep over that triangle because I know that that part of the face won't move. So therefore the amount of movement or distortion I might get will be minimal. So yeah, so some of what I'm going to make here is not ideal, but oops, we are at this stage trying to just get basic shapes down. Okay. Now put in a loop cut here because the geometry doesn't exactly match, but we'll worry about that in a few minutes. Now, let's see. So extrude, and I need to move these in. Now, I should really not be doing this by hand. I should be snapping these onto the surface of the high resolution model, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. Oops. And for what we'll get, this will be just as good. Okay, so we've got that part of the ear is linked. Now, again, we've got a few we've got more geometry here than we probably need. So W bridge edge loop, and that's going to allow us to link things up here. Again, I can get rid of that guy. Oops, link 1, 2, 3, 4, those four, and those four. W bridge edge loop, and that allows me to link them. And again, I'm going to have to add in more geometry here for the nose. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be fixed over here for the eye. What are we? 27 minutes, yeah. I should probably stop this now. You can see what I'm doing. You can see the sort of the methodology. I'm trying to just link everything up here, all the different bits that I've made. Some of them will link elegantly, not like that, they won't, like the right vertices, and some of them not so elegantly, and I'll have to go move things around. And you can make things called n-gons in Blender. So I just used quads. But you can have something that has, there's 4 sides in there, but I could have something that had 5 sides. So you may not enjoy my obsession with quads, but like I said, it'll pay dividends when we start animating. Okay, so I'm going to continue on doing this, and we are nearly ready. With a full mesh. I said, so my plan is to use a mirror modifier to make the other side of the face. As we sculpted it symmetrically, I shouldn't need so I shouldn't need a huge amount. So the biggest thing probably I've left to do here is the mouth. A few other bits that need to be tweaked to make sure they all fit, but I need to join together these bits, and we will have an issue when we start. So yeah, you can imagine here there's a lot of geometry here. Say that the loop from the neck is going to have maybe 40, 30 verts in it, and the body coming up will have only 12. So we'll have to create bits of extra geometry to make it all sit together, but that's not too hard. Okay, so I'm going to stop here at this point, and I'm going to go File, Save As. We'll call this Stage 6, and we will continue on from here in the next tutorial.